Hi Libra, welcome to your reading for May 2023. This is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I have a lot of Libra love in my life, and I read for a lot of Libras, so I know your energy very well. And I am your neighbor, I have a Virgo Sun. So, anyway, some of you may be intuitively guided. You know, sometimes you like go by a video and you're like, and you want to go on, and then you're like, maybe it's because my videos are long, and then you find yourself back to it. You're like, okay, well, let's try it out, right? Because you're making it a commitment to an hour. It is making a commitment to an hour video, because I feel like the second half is like where I don't know. I feel like all the good news is at. So, anyways. Welcome, guys. I'm going to just get into your reading now. We're going to use 4 different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary, Oracle for her words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper. And we brought back in the major arcanas for May. I do it a couple times a year. And we're just going to take a couple. Whatever wants to come out. I shoot for 3. Anyway, I turned them down as a lot came out. But anyway, so we'll use these, and they're like the bullet point. They may help like direct us through the reading, and sometimes it's its own little reading on top of that. And then we're going to use the Psychic Tarot. I've been using it all May, and the more I use it, the more I love it. So I thought, and I was going to change the deck, and I thought, why change what's working? You know what I mean? So, okay, let's begin. Everything is pre-shuffled, but I'm going to give it just a shuffle or two with you here. Remember, time is fluid. My nephew is a Libra, September 24th, and his baby is turning a year old. We're going to the birthday party end of May. All right. Patience. Patience, my child. Patience. This reminds me of temperance, divine timing. All things come to, I don't want to say all things come to those who wait. I know that's a saying, but in a way, like I feel like the energy I pick up through my readings, it's like it's anything but wait, unless, I don't know. I trust in divine timing. This, I guess it's a unicorn, has this fence around it. And, it's almost like holding him back, right? But he could literally stand up and just like walk over that fence. But maybe because it's there, it's like almost an illusion. Like an illusion. I can't get past. I got a fence around me. But literally, I could crawl through it. Alright, let's bring in the major arcanas. By the way, I'll read, interesting, I'll read from the book at the end of the reading. And, I don't know, the words always blow me away because they fit perfectly with what we just experienced. Okay, well, the Hangman was like fighting its 2 cards. Interesting. We have the Fool. Interesting. We have from Mother Mary, patience, right? Trust in divine timing with Fool. But I want to start. I want to begin. And then, interesting, we have the Hangman next to the Fool. So I feel like it's almost like this Fool wants to take off, wants to begin. But the Hangman seems to be almost like hanging the Fool up. You know, it's kind of like this hangman's energy is like a monkey on my back. Hangman's swaying this direction. So, you know, it doesn't say that there won't be, that the Fool won't be able to move forward. It's just saying in divine timing. Interesting, I'm looking at the Hangman, who is, you know, his legs are loosely bound on the limb, and I mean, he's so close to the bottom of the ground that even if he fell, I wouldn't get hurt. So again, sometimes you can feel like the energy of feeling trapped, like I feel like my hands are bound, but they're just, you can easily loosen that bind, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm looking at Patience over here, where the unicorn's kind of just like chilling out, and you know, inside that fence, thinking, well, until the fence is removed, there's nothing I can do. All right, we have the Strength card. Well, this speaks of inner balance, you know, inner strength. A lot of times you'll see this as like someone, well, in Lightseers, I think in this deck too, maybe. She's like half woman, half lion. But she's got this little baby lamb on her lap. So she's all those things. And then we have, well, the Empress. That makes sense. You know, it's almost like Divine is saying, sweetie, I can't let you go forward until you're clearly in the energy of the Empress. And the Empress is someone who definitely, you know, it's like the Fool's being taught that, you know, along this journey, you got to know, you got to feel, you got to pay attention. Like, and I feel like this Fool is like, but I want to go now. But I feel like it's important that I become the Empress, which is already in you, right? That's what the Strength card is bringing out in you. You know. And then I feel like the universe is like, then you're ready. For what? Well, for anything. You know, the Fool's like, I'll take a leap of faith. I'll take a chance. I even feel the energy of like someone's mother, like giving the, like, you know, like her energy is what gives the, I guess, the green light, so to speak. We have Leo there in the Strength card. So this Hangman, you know, he's looking for this strength. You know, the meaning of the card is like taming the beast within. You know, maybe the lion is like ruling the day, and, you know, I gotta come back to center. Okay, let's bring in the Psychic Tarot. I feel like your cards are being a little aggressive. Wow. So how interesting, like, I've had so many readings start with like the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Lovers. Like, wow, I just had Virgo start with the Ace of Cups, love begins. And here we have the Two of Cups. And the Fool's like, does the Fool want it before it's ready? I'm not sure. But it is speaking of soulmate energy. And I definitely feel like that's what the Fool, this is the adventure that the Fool may want to go on. Interesting that he's looking back, you know. Now, soulmate is many lies. Anyway, we have Shadow coming into the Hangman. That makes sense, right? Like, you know, this can be uncertainty, and Hangman may not be willing, like, Card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. It's like one's in the shadow, one's in the light. So could talk about these lovers, like one's in the light, one's in the shadow. And maybe I have to wait for it. Well, I hate to use the word wait, because it's not about me waiting, it's about me living. And when I feel like, who's ever in the shadow comes to the light, so be it. I don't think anything has to be. Alright. We have emotional withdrawal coming under Strength card. This tells you an area to look at. And that's something within your emotional house. Like, like most of us, I'm sure you've been hurt before, right? And that may dampen, like, any new experiences. But I still have the Fool here that's mirrored by the Empress. So, again, 8 is about a new beginning. You have 2 8s right here. Well, it could be 2 people's new beginnings. But this is like moving out of the emotional house. This is like, dealing with it. And that's what the Strength card is doing. Learning from it. Knowing yourself in it. And then moving on from it. That's the ultimate energy. It's interesting, this person just reminds me of me for some reason. Like, when I lived in Rhode Island, I used to go to the beach a lot by myself and just like sit there or read or reflect. I feel like that's what this person is doing. Like, I'm reflecting, but I'm reflecting in a what's the word I want to use? Like, truthful, loving way. Some may be praying. Alright, we have, interesting, 2 8s back to back. Really, then you have 18, where there's an 8, there's an 8, and here's an 8. This is the 8 of Swords. This is a self-created prison. I think who's ever in it knows it. There may be a little bit of illusion that, I can't set myself free or I can't overcome. This is telling you you can. But, I feel like in the 8 of Swords, sometimes, because what does it move to? It moves to the 9 of Swords. And I feel like if I don't see that, if I don't know that, if I don't see where I'm like hanging myself up, then what's going to change? What's going to change? And I know the Fool, like, the Fool's like, but I want change. The Empress is someone who receives inspired epiphanies, guided signs. I can tell you that this Empress would not carry this 8 of Swords energy. 88. Someone may be born in 88. 88, like August 88. But anyways, I feel like this top line is talking about almost like, trust in divine timing. That the Fool will be given the green light, so to speak. But, and this Fool may be the one who's out in the light. And then there may be someone who's still, I'm talking about probably this 2 of Cups. There's still someone who seems to be like in the shadow. But I don't feel like this is what the person wants. Because, again, he's moving towards strength. Almost like, I want to overcome this. And I feel like, there may even be guidance from a mother. Like, you're going to look at, like, your emotional house and, you got to, the 8 of Swords is a self-created prison, and you're the only one who can uncreate it. Maybe that's why I said, like, I do not want anybody to wait, whether it's you or them. Because I feel like, I don't know, I keep saying shadow. It just well, it says shadow. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they'll come out when they come out. And I feel like it's almost like them coming to the light, which I feel like they will. Let's say that, you know, like I'm trying to influence it in some way. Well, in a way, I feel like, you know, like we were probably in the shadow and we had to figure out how to get to the light, right? It doesn't mean life is perfect. It just means I live in a real, you know, like truth, and I allow my creativity to be open. I love, right? But I'm wise. I've had experiences, and these experiences have taught me, you know, and that's what I know. You know, nobody can take that, you know, and the Empress, I feel, is, you know, she has the ability to be very, very bountiful for what she does, what she thinks, what she does with her hands, you know, anything like that. I also feel like, you know, if this is someone's mother, like she gives, maybe some are still alive, she gives great advice. Pay attention. Because I feel like these 8s are what needs to be dealt with. Okay. Interesting. I feel like I'm probably reading for both. Like both of you are here. Because I see both sides. Well, all right, well, we go from the 2 cups to the 3 cups. Rejoice in celebration. You know, I feel like, I should have brought that down earlier. I feel like for some of you, again, I feel like the mothering energy, you know, and almost like, even if, you know, I'm thinking of my nephew, like, even though his mom's not going to be there, she's going to be there. You know what I mean? Okay. We have solitude. You know, solitude, right? But what's this person doing? I don't know. They're reading. They feel like they're reading, I don't know, maybe scripture, or they're reading, you know, the book of life. You know, it's like during this period of time, gaining a lot of knowledge versus this one where this is solitude, so to speak, also, you know, but this is all about the fear. You know, this is where I'm allowing fear to rule me. You like fear is ruling me. Fear is going to determine my next steps. If you think about, like, right now, right this minute, you're planting the seed of what will be. It's almost like you can predict your own future. Anyway. Okay. Jeez. We have truth. You know, interesting, because that's what I said, that I felt like this person who was sitting at the beach, you know, just like, but looking for clarity, looking for, you know, healing and the ability to let go of the things that I cannot control. You know, not allowing myself to be trapped in these self-made prisons, right? Self-created prisons. And, you know, and listen, I feel like some of that is about, like, you learning how strong you are, because that's what the Strength card is doing. You know, it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to overcome this, and when I do, like, I realize, man, I feel like a spirit warrior. I feel more than human. Truth. Your truth, their truth, just truth. This is judgment, calling you to the present moment. You know, let's remember, 8s talk about new beginnings. You have the Fool here, like, ready to go. So this may be like ready to go time. You know, it really does talk about like signs being sent to you, but you know, you need to be as present as you can be. And not, you know, and if you know that you're trapped in fear, like, it doesn't mean you have to change your life. It just means you have to change your thoughts. Maybe. Maybe. It's your truth. Oh, we have a card that flew over. Wow, look at this, another 8. And I like to say positive movement forward. It's like the fool's been set free. I have goosebumps all of a sudden. I don't know why. Like my whole body, like, all of a sudden I'm freezing. Positive movement forward. This is the 3 of Wands. It's a different way, or the 8 of Wands. This is a different way of looking at things also. 8 of Wands, you know, it's like I have to be like, well, 8 of Wands is about the energy you put out into the universe and just the law of attraction. Like what you put out is going to come back to you, period. Sorry. You know what I mean? Negative, positive. You know what I mean? And because I feel like in the 8 of Wands, it's like I'm sending out my intention and the universe is matching my vibration. So here's an 8 where I'm trapped in fear, and here's an 8 where I'm like, let's go. It's like I'm taking on the fool's energy. It's like your spiritual team is saying, it's time. Now, I don't know when. Like, I can't say, you know, because it's, when you do tarot reading, it flows. But, you know, how much time between the person in the shadow and the person, like, having clarity, or you? Well, it depends on each individual, so it's hard to tell. But listen, something's happening in May, or we wouldn't be here. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Death card. Okay, well, Death card is about transformation. It says transformation. That's weird. I didn't even know it said transformation, and I used that word. It's about endings. Endings. And then divine promises. A new door is going to open up. I feel like, you know, I have to keep coming back to this 8 of Cups, emotional withdrawal, the 8 of Swords, trapped in fear. But then your spiritual team here, and then the Strength card, you're overcoming that. You have the ability anyway. You know, listen, maybe you already know this person, or maybe you haven't. You don't know them yet. Here, I mean, if you just look at them, they're both, like, they're both in the light. They're both in the light. I feel like for some there could be like someone where your belief system could be different than the others. You know, should you run? Well, you know, I feel like it never hurts to learn other people's belief systems. Doesn't mean you need to take them on, right? If you live through the Empress's energy, it's like you just know what you know, what you know. You know, but I'm open to whatever. Okay. Let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. And let's go deeper. You know, it's interesting because I feel like over here in the 8 of Swords energy, it's like, you know, I live my life one way and it doesn't feel like a great way. But hey, listen, maybe I'm just used to it. But over here, there's this energy of joy and celebration. And what are they celebrating? Well, spiritual union. Does that promise that there'll be spiritual union? Maybe just the beginning of something. But that's the potential. You know, it's a soulmate. So a lot of times I feel like you know, like with Sam and I, like it's interesting, like, you know how like old married couples just, I don't know, like I don't get up and do my hair every day, and you know, and I mean I very seldom dress up, and but I feel like I can totally be that way, and he totally feels like he can be that way. It's like I don't care. Anyway, so we're going to start at the Fool, keeping everything in mind. We have the Three of Cups. It's almost like I want my joy before it's ready. I don't know why I keep picking that up. Two Cups is now surrounded by, not surrounded, but above and below is the Three Cups. You know, almost like it was just something that's meant to be. And these experiences that we put so much time and effort, or like, I don't want to say wasted time in, because there's great opportunity to learn from these, what we call mistakes. You know, that's what the Empress is like. No, they were experiences. And could I overcome them or not? You know, sometimes we spend more time in one, let's say, assignment than another. Sometimes we flunk a course. Anyways, how interesting, we have the Page of Pentacles now. Because this can talk about school. This is talking about, you know, something that you're building. Like, this is a path that I'm building. And there's a lot of knowledge to be had. This could be someone of your younger days. Well, okay. First of all, I'm glad to see this. We have the Eight of Swords, which clearly came in reverse, face up in reverse. So I'm not going to deny it. Especially this one, especially since we have the Eight of Swords here. So this is saying that, you know, you can come back to center, you can balance your energy, you can overcome. And this is, you know, this is someone who's breaking free. There's no more prison. Swords start dropping out. You know, I feel like, because maybe some of my reflection is like, man, I have a tendency to hang on to things that really don't mean anything in the realm of things. Then we have Justice. Well, that's your card. You know, coming right over the Eight of Swords, I almost feel like you can't, if that's you, it's like you can't deny it. I love seeing the Empress right there, because again, I feel the mothering energy, right? But at the same time, it's like, if that's the case, then it's like whatever, you know, whatever elements that the mother may have had, like, this is definitely the energy of like being free from it. Anyways, some of you can talk about, you know, somebody cutting ties with someone else. We have the Moon again. So Pisces, Cancer twice. We have the Seven of Swords. Interesting. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And then look at this, we have Temperance. Right over the Eight of Wands. Like, we started with the energy of trusting in divine timing, and the Fool's like, but I want to go. But like, you know, I feel like Temperance is like, but wait, have patience, my child. And I felt like, you know, somewhere in this reading, the Fool gets the green light, and Temperance definitely, again, if Temperance is a controller of divine timing, then this is positive movement forward. You know, it's like, okay, it's time. So first of all, I love that. Now, I feel like this can also talk about two people, like, together, not together. And it can be an energy of like where how do I say this? I feel, first of all, just be careful who you put your energy in. Not all people are deserving of it. Second of all, I feel there's an energy of, because something happened in your life, it almost like out of that was born almost like a new career, a new path. And I feel like it's kind of set you free. Now, for some of you, it set you free in your finances, in your creative house. Almost like I now speak the truth and only the truth. Interesting, the Seven of Swords is right there, though. So, with the Page of Pentacles above that Seven of Swords, I feel like if this is talking about past energy that maybe wasn't so honest and truthful, I must have had that awareness. Now, I'm not going to say that person couldn't have changed. Maybe they did. But I don't even know if it's about that, to be honest. So let's keep going. I get this energy, I'm just going to say it, like someone who may have been, I feel like robbed or something. And I feel like whoever the thief was, I feel like they're going to get caught. And I feel like they're going to the slammer. Okay. I'm going to let that go. I think that was just a quick one. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. She has this big pentacle in her hand. Look at that. I love that these cards are coming in reverse and face up so we can see it. We can't deny it. I love this. Listen. This is, first of all, the Ten of Swords is the energy of taking a dagger again and again and again and again. But I feel like somewhere in this energy I've got to look and say, like, okay. Because in some of the art is depicted where someone is laying on their back. They're seeing the swords coming. I expect them. Why wouldn't they? It's all I get. It's all you get because that's all you think you're going to get. Sometimes you do need to break yourself free from something or someone. And then let it be. Let it go. We have the Hermit, the old wise one. I love the Hermit, right? First of all, you have two Virgo cards. What's under that? Truth. Could talk about me. I'm giving you the truth. I feel like, yes, somebody was in, we'll just call it the Dark Night of the Soul. But it talked about, like, dagger after dagger after dagger, and I did get trapped in it. Yes, I did. But I feel like, it's almost like I pray about it, or I meditate on it, or I don't know. I'd be very honest with myself, and I feel like your guides are helping to soothe all that energy and help you to have that realization, because I did feel like something may feel illusionary. Well, now I think it's these eights. So anyways, the Hermit is you know, coming out of that Ten of Swords energy. So the Hermit survived. And not only did the Hermit survive by letting those swords go, you know, listen, I may have given my energy to someone who didn't deserve it because they could have been unfaithful. I didn't know what they were doing, where they were going, type of thing. Maybe that's why one is in the shadow here. It's like, do you think I want, like, I'm stuck over here. But the Hermit, it reminds me of solitude down here. Right, but this Hermit's emerging from the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is in reverse. So all those swords are dropping out. You know, it's almost like anyone who had their claws in you can't hang on anymore. Why? Because you're too wise. Like, I'm on to you. Like, I can see you coming 1,000 miles away. But that's not really what the Hermit is about, because the Hermit's peaceful. The Hermit, you know, is using the knowledge that the Hermit's gained and helping others along the way, including oneself. And listen, for some of you, it can certainly talk about, you know, in some way, the Nine of Pentacles right below that. It, you know, that's self-employment. That's successful self-employment. When? Well, all in divine timing. You know, the Nine of Pentacles talks about if you're willing to put the work in, then you're going to be successful. And it's interesting because truth is there, and then the Hermit over that. The Hermit has the Eight of Swords, but in reverse. Then with the Strength card there, like what I had to overcome, the balance I had to find, and some of it was in this self-created prison. And then and then emerging as the Empress, you know, it means your vibration has gotten higher. And that means that, you know, what comes towards you must also be of a higher vibration. I think you know that, because I feel that's why Temperance is here. You know, like, it's time. Time for what? I feel like that's a question I have, because, you know, we had the Two Cups. So some of you could certainly talk about love. It could talk about, you know, a baby, because I am going to a celebration. You know, and that baby being a soulmate, which is nice. What am I holding? Temperance. I feel like Temperance is saying you finally learned what you think about is what you bring about. And because you've learned that and broken yourself free from what you thought sometimes is the impossible. I mean, I felt that way in my life a couple times, like, oh my God, this is my life. You know, like, this is it. But man, I mean, my life has changed drastically at least 4, maybe 5 times. Completely different each time. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Why didn't I take a card here? I'm going to do it right now. Four of Swords. Beautiful. That's healing. It's healing all these 8s. It's healing that energy of feeling trapped. The Hangman feels that way also, but the Hangman is seeking wisdom. Healing. And truth. Both. That's kind of beautiful. And I feel like some of you, you do something, let's just say, you know, it can be so many different type of things, but I feel like an area that you're in, I feel like it helps others. Like whether it helps them to forget, or Yeah, and what I mean by that, like, is I go out and watch a band, and at that, I forget, like, I allow myself to enjoy that. I feel like a lot of times people say, how do you get over something? Well, the Empress would say, move into your creative house. Allow your interest to be piqued, and follow that. You know what I mean? Because it will be. Ask for it. You know, I feel like I can't regret what I've been through, because it is what I've been through that gives me this wisdom today. I wouldn't have had it otherwise. I may be speaking for two people here. Like, and it would make sense that they both have similar energies, but maybe different timelines. I love that. The Hermit's illuminating that Four of Swords. Healing over the mind. Okay. Do I want to, I asked a question. What was it? Let's just take a shuffle and see what wants to come out. So we have the Two of Cups, right? That's the potential of soulmate energy. There's celebration right below it and above it. For some of you, you know, it can be love. For some of you, it's about, you know, the wisdom you've gained and then using it. Like you're shining that beacon of light outward, and it just so happens to be what you do. And how you make your money, and it's abundant energy. It doesn't always mean I'm rich, but I have all that I need. I feel like the universe will take care of you. You know, but you got to put the work in at the same time. I feel like, honestly, the work has been the experiences. And now it's simply you're telling it in some way, somehow. Alright, we have the Two of Swords. We have, hello, Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Some of you, this is great energy if you're working from home. You know, you may ask yourself, can I be abundant at it? Well, you know, the Two of Swords comes before it, and that kind of is blocking an opportunity. Why? I have a blindfold on. There's something I may not want to face, or, you know, it may be that, I don't know. I don't believe in my uniqueness, because the Three of Pentacles is all about your uniqueness. That's what's creating this abundance, this abundant household. It is your uniqueness. You are the missing piece of the puzzle. You know, what you do, what you say, it's important. Like, you do have purpose. Sometimes we forget that. We think we're just thrown down here, but we all have a purpose. You know, sometimes it is to be resistant to someone. You know what I mean? Maybe we're teaching them a lesson. Maybe they're teaching us a lesson. Maybe we're teaching each other. So anyways, I feel like this Two of Swords certainly doesn't fit with this energy of the Ten of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles. It feels outside of it. Interesting, because I feel like it's also talking about this spiritual union. So I feel like it's talking, for some reason I feel like, you know, why am I doubting myself? I want to go right below that, and I want to know. Some of you may have went to school for something, and somehow, some way using it. And listen, again, it's almost like I block, like for some reason I don't do it. And I do feel like you are then going to do it. All right. Well, hello, Queen of Wands. So, she is the queen who would not overthink it. She's the queen of action. Baby, won't you light my fire? Baby, won't you light my fire? We have the Page of Swords. So, can be you. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Can just be talking about someone of younger energy. Because we do have 2 pages, and then what do we have? The 4 of Cups. It's funny because I talk about this 4 of Cups even though it's not in like a spread. And what I talk about is how this person is being handed a cup. And, it's a cup of fulfillment, whether it be love or whether it be, doing what you love. Maybe it's all of that. So this person has to use a spiritual discernment. Do I take this cup or do I not? Some don't. This talks about discontentment and boredom in one's life. Again, it's the energy. It feels like the opposite of what wants to be or what can be. Or what, some of you have already been through this, and maybe you're already, like, again, the hermit, and you're helping, to spread awareness. I want somebody to see me for me. That's exactly what this hand is delivering. Someone who sees you for you. Sees your soul, whether it be love, but also in the 3 of Pentacles. Remember, it is like soulmate energy. It is collaboration, and it is the missing piece. It reminds me of the Bee Gees all of a sudden, but they were brothers. Let's say Hotel California or the Eagles. You know what I mean? Like the perfect people came together. I simply feel like I can or I can't. Well, I shouldn't say I can't. I will or I won't. Keep hearing this humming. I don't know what it is. Alright, before I let you go, I want to look at that 2 of Swords. I want to look right at it. First of all, it pushed over the 4 of Swords, and it is the Queen of Swords. Hello. Some of you, I'm telling you, there's something that you've learned that I feel like you are now using, and I feel like, if you're asking, can you be abundant? I feel like absolutely, but you got to believe in yourself, and listen. Not all things, doesn't mean that I won't fall sometimes. But I'm going to get back up. I'm going to, okay, what caused me to fall? Reminds me of my dad. We were walking at the beach one day, and he came up to visit. No, he actually, well, anyway. And we were walking, and when he walked, he looked straight down, like, at his shoes. And I walk with my head up. And he kept falling. And I kept saying, well, you're falling because you're not looking at what's coming. You're only looking at what's right there. And he's like, yeah. And then we start walking again, and I'd be damned, he would fall again. And I'd be like, Dad, you got to put your head up. It just reminds me of that. 7 of Cups. And then the Hierophant. Self-belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in more than yourself. believe that you are the missing puzzle to something, and probably more than something. You know, I feel like your experiences are now your wisdom, and your wisdom has become your way. I feel like, you know, I feel like I should just leave it there, because I feel like this Two of Swords, that blindfold, it's going to come off. But it is giving you, it's like showing you like the potential, right? If I break free, you know, if I take on the Fool's energy, free and clear, ready to take a leap, right? A leap of faith. You know, there's the Hierophant. You know, there's the Ten of Pentacles. Not just that, but the Fool's connected to the Two Cups. The Fool won't wear that Two of Swords either. It keeps coming back to you, whether it be through your major arcana or through the Queen of Swords. So, I don't know. You know, Seven of Cups is like, you know, I've been here, I've done that. Seven also, though, this is a universal year 7. So this may be a year that you fall in love. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who fall in love. This may be a year where you start to see the fruits of your labor. You know, but I feel like you got to start planting those seeds. Some of you, it's using knowledge that you've already gained. And whether I'm, you know, all of a sudden I feel like I'm a writer and I'm writing it down. Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. All right, let me read Patience. Patience. God's timing is perfect, as this card reminds you. When you pray for help, that request is heard and answered. If your prayers involve other people, their free will decisions influence the timing of the outcome. My God, did I feel that? Heaven knows this and devises ingenious solutions that arrive at exactly the right time. That's judgment, calling you to the present moment. You received this card as a reminder to have patience with God's plans and solutions. If you try to control, force, or push your own agenda, you may miss out on an infinitely better alternative. Ask Mother Mary to help you demonstrate her infinite patience and trust in God's timing. Wow. Libra, I feel like your reading was beautiful. I kind of feel like it has to be a premiere. They're all becoming premieres, but like I definitely feel it. So I will see you there. I'll see you at the premiere, or I'll see you next time at the table. Thank you for all that you do. So much gratitude. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.